Right, my record number of questions from the fans, so we'll start off straight away. Hubert Parry wants to know, what's your favourite book?
Favourite book? I don't read as much as I should. I'd probably say Roy Keane's autobiography, just because of his character ways, really. And his little rift between him and Fergie was a little good putter in there. So yeah, I'd probably say Roy Keane on that one.
Okay. Same questioner. If you had £10,000 to go travelling, where would you go?
Las Vegas. All day. Probably Vegas. I've never been there before, but I've heard a lot of stories from Carl Storer, so I'll say Vegas.
Okay. Which animal would most closely suit your position?
Which animal? Jesus. Probably a horse, because I get called donkey out of Shrek, so I'd probably say a horse or a donkey. Yeah, probably go with that. Yeah.
Okay. Good nickname there. How do Lee and Gary Johnson's management styles differ? And can you see any similarities between them?
Differ. Probably one's younger, one's old. I'll probably go with Lee. Likes to play a bit more passes, and Gary Johnson's a bit more not, I wouldn't say long ball, but direct, and wants to get into opposition half quicker. So I'd say yeah, probably just on passing and trying to get the ball forward. That's different styles, really.
Why do you think England underachieve on the international stage?
Lack of flair, I would say. That's a big factor in world stage, because you've got to have a little bit of cutting edge to be able to cut down world's best defences, really. I'd probably say yeah, just flair, really. I think they've got everything else, and I think they're getting better as the years go by with the flair, I would say. But yeah, just flair, really.
If you could change one law in football, what would it be?
One law in football. Good question. Come back to that one.
Okay.
Not sure. That's a good question.
Yeah, no problem. Shades asks, how do you score the majority of your goals? Head, right foot, left foot, inside the box? You know, what would you say is a typical Amari Morgan-Smith
Believe
goal?
it or not, I do score quite a lot of goals with my left foot. Even though I'm probably right-footed, I'd say, even though I'm comfortable with both feet. Most of my goals are with my left foot, I've seen over the years. So yeah, probably left foot. But I try and score as much as I can with my right foot as well now. So try and balance it out a little bit.
Okay, Red Duke asks, what's your career record in penalties like?
Very good, to be fair. I've missed one at Kidderminster 2 seasons ago. I think that's probably it that I can remember. So yeah, probably I say 90% record.
Yeah.
So yeah, penalties are decent. I'll try and step up if we've won one. So yeah, I'd say penalties, yeah, about 90%.
Okay. Solly or Kev, Lee or Gary? Simple question, Lee or Gary?
Gary.
Cal, Amari or octopus? Have you tried them?
Say that again?
Calamari,
yes,
or octopus?
Calamari all day. I've tried that, and I have that quite a lot with my starters. I've never tried octopus, so I wouldn't say that, but yeah, calamari definitely.
London Exile asks, who's your favourite actor?
Favourite actor? It's got to be, shadow of a doubt, Denzel Washington. Just because most films, majority of films are pretty good, and his acting's just incredible. So yeah, Denzel.
Dream date?
Dream date, as in where, or with who?
With whom?
With whom? I'm gonna have to say with my missus, because I've got a missus, so I'm gonna have to say with my missus. If I didn't have a missus, I'd probably say Jennifer Lopez all day. Always been a lifelong crush, really, and she still looking worldy at the minute, so I'd say J-Lo, yeah. But dream date, yeah, my missus first of all, and then if I didn't have a missus, then J-Lo.
What was your favourite toy growing up?
Favourite toy? I didn't have a particular toy. I used to play a lot with Legos, so I would say yeah, Legos. I didn't have a particular toy, so yeah, Legos. I used to really bash them out. I used to make little houses, yeah, masterpieces for my mum when she got back from work. So I'd say yeah, Lego.
Toughest opponent you faced in your career so far?
Competitive or training?
Either.
Both.
Either. Yeah.
Ashley Williams, I'd say, at Stockport. He was always going to get to the top, always could see from a mile off. Competitive, quick, good on the ball, couldn't beat him in the air. He was incredible. Yeah, so Ashley Williams, and you can see why he's doing so well now in the Premier League. So yeah, Ashley Williams.
If you could play up front with any striker apart from Danny Wright, who would it be and why?
Any striker? I'm going to go with Wayne Rooney because I'm a Man United fan, and I believe he could set me up with a lot of goals, just being on the player he is. Not taking anything from Wright, but yeah, I'd say Wayne Rooney, yeah.
What, a long time away yet, but what do you think you might do once you hang up your boots? Have you thought about it yet, career after football?
I have, yeah. I would like to go into coaching. I like working with youngsters and seeing them progress and getting a little buzz. I've done a little bit before and getting a little buzz off just helping out the young lads, and then obviously seeing them do well when they get older. So yeah, probably coaching. And I've had a little inkling in my head, a little dream. I had a dream the other day actually about opening my own hairdressing shop. It was weird, to be fair, and it come up as it was a Friday. The dream was a Friday. Me and Ace was talking about it in the Cartridge Fair, and then in the dream it just come up as Fizz Fridays. So like it would always be a little invitation for whoever's coming to have a haircut, and just give them a little drink on entry. So yeah, that was just a dream. So I think I'd try and go into that if football fails, coaching wise. So yeah.
The final one from the Robin's Nest is from Artemis. Which supermarket do you normally shop at?
Supermarkets, Tesco all day. There's loads of them. They're everywhere. Expensive though, but Tesco or Asda. Yeah, Asda. I like Asda, to be fair. So Asda, yeah. Okay. Asda or Tesco.
Right, Twitter. Who's your best friend in football? Ollie Fell.
Nicky Maynard. I would say grew up with him a lot when I was young at Crewe, lived together for a few years, and just been close friends ever since really. So Nicky Maynard.
Chel Tweets have asked about 20 questions, so let's go through these quickly. What do you want your legacy at Cheltenham to be?
The player to get Cheltenham back into the Football League.
What type of music are you into, and do you have any favourite artists or bands at the moment?
Well, I'm a bit of a hip-hop R&B, and I would go with Drake at the minute. Drake's probably up there, for a lot of reasons. He's got loads of different styles, so I'll go with Drake.
Okay. Why do some players, including yourself, wear tape around their wrist?
Wrist tape. Had that question before. Munzie's copied me, I think, actually. Nah. I've always done it, to be fair. If you've seen all pictures from me previously at other clubs, I've always done it. No specific reason really. It's just one of them things. I have to have it there. Now I've done it. It needs to be there. If I don't wear it, I don't feel right. So yeah, I don't really have any reason for it.
So you're setting the trend of it then?
Yeah, I just need it to be there. If it's not there, then I'm worrying that something's missing and I won't be able to play right. So it needs to be there. And sometimes if I'm sweating, I'll use it to just wipe the sweat off my forehead after I've been working so hard. So yeah, no real reason.
Okay. Did you have offers from league clubs in the summer? If so, what made you come to Cheltenham?
Yes. and I'd say Gary Johnson, big reason why, and I like the whole big picture of trying to get back in the Football League, and I've heard a lot of stories about, well, not even stories, I've heard a lot of things about this club, fans, good fan base. If you can get them going, a good fan base, and so far they've showed that, to be fair. So hopefully we can create something special here and show what we've got. Yeah.